Oh, hi! Tony from Hack the Movies here. I know you're all excited to watch my new video on Clash of the Titans, but first I want to talk about today's sponsor, Dodo Peak, from SKYPE Media. It's a great game. It's available now on the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo eShop. I've been playing it day and night, wherever I go. It's a great time. But don't take it from me. Just ask my dad. Dad, what do you think about the game?
Man, this is the greatest game I ever played.
That's Dodo Peak, available now on the Nintendo Switch, in the Nintendo eShop. Not Dante's Peak, not Twin Peaks, Dodo Peak. Buy it today! Clash of the Titans is a hit film from 1981. It tells the story of Perseus trying to save the city of Joppa and the Princess Andromeda from the wrath of the goddess Thetis and the dreaded Kraken. It has effects done by Ray Harryhausen, and it's a big budget tribute to the films inspired by Greek mythology. It also sprinkled a little bit of Star Wars to be more relevant.
And with a name like Clash of the Titans, you would expect a lot of Titans. But what are Titans? And why am I here?
Well, Adam, from Adam Does Movies, whose shirt I happen to be wearing at the moment, the Titans were the gods that preceded the Olympians. They overthrew their parents and ruled the cosmos until their children, the Olympians, overthrew them and imprisoned them in Tartarus.
There's altogether 12 Titans. The big question on my mind is how many of them appeared in the film. I would assume pretty much all of them, right?
Let's go through each creature and decide if they're Titans or not, and tally our results at the end. Are you ready, Adam?
You better believe it, Buster. Let's go.
First we have Calibus. He's the main antagonist for most of the film. He is the son of the goddess Thetis, and out of spite, Zeus transforms him into a satyr-type creature. Now, they were supposed to be mythological nature spirits and hybrids, so not a Titan.
Next we have giant vultures, which have popped up here and there throughout Greek mythology. Here's a fun fact. Giant vultures were used to eat the liver of Tydeus for all eternity in Tartarus. It's a lot of T's, and Tydeus sounds hot. In this film, however, there's only one, and it's used to fly Andromeda to meet Calibus. Not a Titan.
Pegasus shows up in the movie, and Zeus says he's the last of the flying horses. He ends up getting tamed by Perseus and becomes a loyal companion. Not a Titan, though.
Then we have Bubo. Tydeus, Bubo, I mean, come on, who's naming these things? Obviously a perv. Bubo is based on the magical creature created by Athena, which typically doesn't have a name. Here, Zeus orders Athena to send her friend to assist Perseus. Instead, she goes behind the guy's back. Orders Hephaestus to make a mechanical one instead. This was in an effort to cash in on the popularity of droids in Star Wars, which came out just a few years earlier. And I'm sorry to say, but this is not the Titan you're looking for. Star Wars reference, no one's ever done it.
The Stygian witches show up next. They are blind sisters who share one glass eye. They tell Perseus the only way to defeat the Kraken is to use the head of the Gorgon Medusa. In Greek mythology, they were called the Grey, and were the children of two sea deities and the sisters of the Gorgons. They were not Titans.
Then we have Karin the Ferryman. He's the Grim Reaper looking dude that takes people across the River Styx into the underworld. He's not a Titan. It's not even close.
Next is Dioscylus, the two-headed dog. Traditionally, the underworld is protected by a three-headed dog called Cerberus, but I guess 3 heads was too hard to animate, so they made up a two-headed dog character. So it's not even a Greek mythological character, and it's not a Titan.
Probably the most notable scene in the film is when Perseus and his men have to square off against Medusa, the evil snake-looking woman with even more snakes in her hair. It's a snakeaganza. There's just a redundancy of snakes going on. She's great at shooting arrows. She's got the quiver, the bow, the whole 9 yards, and oh yes, she can turn men into stone with a single look, with just one gaze. She's essentially the Taylor Swift of monsters. She's also got bad blood, meaning it's acidic, and it forms giant scorpions as soon as the drops hit the ground. It's quite remarkable. Earlier in the film, the Stygian witches mention Medusa is a Titan, but then they refer to her as a Gorgon. Now, if you didn't know, Titans are in fact Titans, but a Gorgon is not a Titan. So not a Titan.
I just realized we haven't named a single Titan yet.
Right, and this is called Clash of the Titans, meaning plural, more than one. We haven't listed off one yet, but there's still plenty to go through, so I'm not worried. We're gonna get some Titans in this. We're gonna get a lot of Titans in this.
So far, Medusa is the only one they called a Titan, but the movie's wrong.
We forgot the crown jewel of this picture, the kraken, the one that Zeus released and proclaimed it's the last of the Titans. It decimates cities and kills thousands of people. It's Titan.
Oh, right. One small problem, Adam.
What's that, T-Bone?
Krakens aren't Greek. They're giant squid monsters from Nordic folklore. They have nothing to do with Olympians or Titans or any of that Greek stuff.
So you're saying there's not one Titan in Clash of the Titans? Not a single one?
Not one.
Okay, well, what a misleading title. That's false advertising if I've ever heard it.
I mean, there's none in this Clash of the Titans, but there was a remake.
Correct, and that movie did add some additional creatures, didn't it?
Maybe we can find a Titan there.
The first new creatures introduced are the Furies, not to be confused with furries, which are also scary, nightmarish things. In mythology, they come from the blood of Uranus, joke in there somewhere, after he was killed. They might come from the blood belonging to the father of the Titans, but they themselves are not Titans.
Then there's more giant scorpions. This time they come from the blood of Calibus and not the blood of Medusa. This new origin, however, doesn't change the fact that they are not Titans.
The characters in the film are saved by the Jinn, and much like the Kraken, the Jinn themselves do not come from Greek mythology. They actually date back to pre-Islamic Arabia, and it's where the term genie comes from. That's fun. And they're not Titans.
So both Clash of the Titans have literally no Titans.
Yeah, it's 0 for 2 so far, T-Bone, but that's why they made a sequel to the legendary 2010 film, Wrath of the Titans.
I totally forgot about that. Wrath of the Titans. The Titans haven't even clashed, but they're ready to unleash their wrath.
I think we're both going to be pleasantly surprised by just how many Titans show up in this film. And if I were a gambling man, and I'd like to think I am, I'd put everything I own and love dearly on the fact that there's going to be multiple Titans popping up in this thing.
The movie starts off with the Olympians fighting some lava monsters. I'm not sure what they are, but since they answer to Hades, I'm going to assume they're not Titans.
After that, the walls of Tartarus are broken and more creatures spill out into the world. That was things spilling out. The first one we meet is basically a chimera. Chimeras are monsters that were made up of different parts of animals. With all those animal parts fused together, you'd think that there'd be a Titan in there somewhere. You'd be wrong. You'd be dead wrong. I don't know why I'm so upset with you.
Then 3 Cyclopses show up. They're giant human-like creatures with one eye. In mythology, the Cyclops actually have the same parents as the 12 Titans, but are grouped separately. After Gaia birthed the Titans, she gave birth to the Cyclops and the Hectonchires. Their father, Uranus, didn't like them as much as the Titans and imprisoned them. So we're getting closer, but unfortunately, not Titans.
When Perseus enters the labyrinth, he has to face off against a Minotaur, the infamous half-man, half-bull monster that feeds on people. The Minotaur is that of The Offspring, and I don't mean the hit 90s band that's still making good music today, but that of a woman having coitus with a magical bull. Gross to say the least, and also not a Titan.
While Perseus deals with all that, the Princess Andromeda has an army taking on another army known as the Makai. They are based on the Makai from Greek myth. They are simply demons or spirits of battle and combat. They are not Titans.
So here we are at the end of our tale. A giant lava creature has blown out the side of a mountain and he goes by the name of Kronos.
Wait, did you say Kronos?
Yeah, I did. What are you going to tell me now? He's also not a Titan and that he came from some non-Greek story or he was made up for the film?
No! He's the father of the Olympians! He's the son of Uranus and Gaia! He's one of the 12 Titans! We finally got one!
Finally a Titan! I knew it was gonna happen. I knew we were gonna get multiple Titans in this movie. Or just one Titan. I didn't gamble anything away.
Oh, and he's trying to unleash his wrath on the world. So finally, one of the titles from these movies actually makes sense.
So there you have it, the answer to the age-old question, how many Titans are in Clash of the Titans? Exactly 1, in the sequel to the remake. How fun. What should we do next? You know, where do we go from here? Only up.
Well, seeing Ray Fiennes, or Ralph Fiennes, however you pronounce his name, in the remakes gave me an idea. Let's count all the dragons in Red Dragon.
Speaking of terrible segues, you should check out my channel, Adam Does Movies, because let's be honest, you love films, and that's what I talk about over there. I have a show called Movie Feuds, where I take 2 films or more, pit them head to head, give the pros and cons of each, let you vote for the winner. There's also my Adam Rants movie series. I mean, it's just a great time. Tony subscribed. If he can subscribe, that's worth its weight in gold. So this was fun. I hope to do it again, and I hope to see you on Adam Does Movies.